We're going live, guys. In three, two,
This is not a live stream.
one.
Okay. Well, listen, but guys, real quick, before we actually start the show, we need something to spice this up, okay? So Josh, Kenny's gonna get a little annoying, all right? So just practice saying the N-word, get us to that new stratosphere, and let's go.
Wow.
Let's go with the show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Studio 149 podcast episode. This is the mega discussion. This is the post E3 discussion. And again, because it's such a big event, I have to bring a couple of friends along with this for this discussion and make it a quote unquote mega discussion. I don't want to be that person, but this is kind of a big deal because today, guys, we're joined by one half. You know what? You guys are individuals. You guys are your own people. We're joined today by Kenny Castro. What's going on, bro?
What up? What up?
All right. Thank you so much for that, Kenny. We're also joined by a friend of the show, Josh LiquidMercuri.
Damn,
Close
can
enough.
you make that
I
his
think
name right?
I think the N word you were looking for was never. I think that was the word you were.
Never Mercury?
Yep.
Listen, let's drop that. Actually, someone's gonna say it by accident. And listen,
No.
listen. The third person I'm about to introduce is drinking some wine, so he might let it slip by accident. Okay, he's also been watching The Sopranos, so I'm just saying. The what's it called? The
Gabagoo.
we're joined by the one, the only Wiley Homestead. Did I get that right?
Forget about it.
Hey, you see, this is the kind of energy that I need. What's going on, Wiley? How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here. Glad to finally be on some Studio 149 content. Looking forward to talking about the show.
All right. So you know what? The last episode was like 15 hours long. I want to avoid that. I want to get right into it. I wanted to ask you guys right off the bat. What were you guys? You were gonna say something.
How's it going, everybody? I got no intro.
Oh my god, dude! Holy crap! Jesus Christ! You know what? Hold up!
There is no content without the goat.
Oh my god, dude! I am so sorry.
No,
You
you're
know,
not.
I love you.
Nah, it's cool.
You're the best.
feel
He's
it,
not
please.
sorry. He doesn't appreciate you like I appreciate you, right, man?
Thanks a lot, Kenny. We gotta
Guys.
start off on our own now, bro.
Guys,
'Cause,
oh my
Vic's
God.
replaced me with Mr. Homestead over there.
Yep, he been
Guys,
replaced
oh my
you, bro.
God.
Now we're seeing that.
My
Man.
cheeks are hot right now. That's how embarrassed I feel. But of
Wow,
course,
bro.
guys,
Put your
Is
teeth away.
your face red too?
yeah, it really is. It really is.
Video podcast.
Man, should we do this? You know what? Forget it. Yo, of course, we're joined by my favorite man in the world. I love you more than George Clooney. You're the best. The show's nothing without you. The YouTube channel's nothing without you. The one, the only, the enigmatic one, Mr. Lightman. What is going on, bro? Okay.
That energy.
I'm reaching out to him right now. I'm so sorry.
I love Lightman, so like one word introduction. So, hey.
Damn. I do feel bad. Now I feel like the rest of the show is going to be terrible.
All right,
But all right.
We should
Right.
say-
But
should
to get
subscribe
back to
the
it-
Level With You show. That's the podcast that Kenny and I do. If you like what you're hearing throughout the rest of the show.
I mean, I was going to
Sorry
plug
for the
you.
shameless plug.
I was going to plug you.
Okay.
All right. Man, I guess I'm just fumbling everything today, huh? Lightman, please. Don't leave me floundering over here.
Nah, Leon floundering.
He knows I can't do this by myself. But anyway, I digress.
Walk away, Lightman.
I digress. I wanted to have a good discussion with you guys, Lightman included, of course, that about E3 that just happened. We had a lot of game announcements. We had a lot of awkward moments. We had a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. So let's get right into it. I know Lightman and I, we have a real special pre-E3 ritual. And I just wanted to ask, am I crazy, or are we crazy, or do you guys also have a ritual as well, or what? Before the show starts.
So, can you describe your ritual? Because, I mean, I'm not, like, doing a seance or doing a special prayer, but what are you doing?
So we usually get, like, some snacks, we'll run to the store or something, just to get the vibes ready. We'll play some music. We'll play some K-pop, because I know my boy loves it.
Cheese.
What?
You picked up a chopped cheese from the bodega.
Bro, we moved to a new spot, and they don't know what a chopped cheese is, bro.
Don't tell me that.
They don't know what that is, bro.
That's wild. I would have just moved out.
We already signed the lease by the time we found out, bro. It was too late.
That should have been in the fine print.
No, really should have, bro. But do you guys do anything before the show starts? Whether it's drink some wine, whether it's just, Kenny. You know what I'm talking about, Kenny. Before the show starts.
You know how it is, little something. No, I'd say, I set myself up with the snacks. I don't got a trusty bodega that I can go to around here, so I hit up my local 7-Eleven. And I pick up the gummy candies, the Gatorade, the water, the Smart Water, the big one too. Want to stay hydrated, and just get myself comfortable. I set up 2 monitors, just because I sometimes in between all the filler talk, sometimes I don't want to be watching anything. If I want to rewind on one screen and catch the live on another, then I could do that type thing.
Damn, that sounds a lot cooler than my thing, actually. I just got like chicken wings and stuff. What about you, Josh? Are you as invested into E3 as we are?
Yeah, I mean, I always get my box of wine, but
Yeah.
then what you want to do is you want to open the box of wine and take the little plastic bag out of there with the little spout. You follow me so far? And then what you want to do is every time Phil Spencer says exclusive, world exclusive, you slap the bag and you take a drink out of the nozzle.
No.
Oh, here we go with the PS fanboy.
I said Phil Spencer.
Oh, here we go with the PS fanboy over here talking bad about my boy
Speaking
Phil.
of PS fanboy, I will say that this year, as opposed to the last E3 2019, where Sony was there, where there was no E3 2020, it's lost a little bit of its luster for me. The fact that it's no longer in person. There's not that show floor feel. Giant Bomb has really famous content where they interview people. They call it Giant Bomb at Night, where they just bring in all sorts of developers and people from other websites, and I always find that highly entertaining. So that not being there, along with Sony not being there, brought down my hype factor going in. But I think once all was said and done, that I was pretty pleased overall this year. But nah, I like to watch it on my TV, make it like it's a sports event or something. Like it only comes around once a year, but nothing too in particular.
Nothing too crazy. All right. Understandable. I respect that. Hey, I respect everything you do, Wiley. All right. Guys, go check out his podcast, Level With You, on YouTube. They're at episode 100. Those guys are awesome. Kenny less so, but it's a good show overall. Overall, it's a good show. So actually, one thing that I found sort of interesting, and this might be a hot take. Obviously, I don't want to like crap on any developers, right? But the conferences outside of Microsoft and Nintendo were not particularly good. Am I crazy in thinking this, or was I the only one watching the shows? Like, why did they do this? Because this is not. I don't want to say a waste of time.
You didn't totally tune in to hear Verizon talk about how they had really good internet and they was gonna make video games better. That's not what you were at E3 for?
No, not at all.
No.
Or Square Enix's weird conference, or Capcom's totally lackluster conference. Honestly, the only good thing that came out of Square was honestly chaos. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Chows?
Yeah, it's that thing we gotta kill.
Yeah.
Chows? Chows are back?
What's the name of that game?
It's Stranger in Paradise Final Fantasy Origins.
There we go.
Strangers in Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins. Yeah, that I thought that game looks terrible, but the plot of it, I mean, it gets straight to the point, and you got to respect that. And for that reason alone, I'm going to get that game. But the other smaller shows, Josh, I know.
Ubisoft was okay.
Hmm?
I thought Ubisoft was okay.
Yeah. Listen, the only reason I thought Ubisoft was okay, and I think Josh might agree with me, is because of that game called, what is it, Riders Republic?
Oh yeah, dude. So stoked for that.
Yeah, that game. What?
Yeah, I thought that looks cool too, and I said so during, I think it was the Game Awards, and nobody on Level With You was really
When
vibing
they
with
first, first announced it. Yeah, it's like it's like Steep 2.0. It looks pretty awesome.
It does not.
But there's different things other than snowboards. There's bikes. There's like
Exactly.
dirt bikes and
it's gonna flop so
Snowboard.
hard.
There's,
We'll
what is
see.
it, air gliding? All that good stuff is going to be there.
Well,
It's gonna
Well,
be
and
just as
Steep-
bad as deep dish pizza.
Oh, my God.
he's a
Steep
hater.
had a bunch of different like sports as well, but there was something about it that just didn't feel like you were actually playing on the mountain with other people. Whereas this one looks like it's all about the interaction. It almost looks like they're going like full MMO, but you just happen to be riding bikes and
Yeah,
snowboarding and all that kind of stuff. It looks pretty
Steep,
awesome.
the issue with Steep was because you were playing with bots and not with people. Nobody bought it.
Yo, for real.
True.
No one was playing Steep. Lightman and I gave it a shot for like what,
30 seconds.
2 hours maybe, and then yeah, we just put the game away.
Really neat is for EA to bring back SSX.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Like SSX 2012 was one of my favorite games. Like up there with SSX 3, SSX Tricky, like 1080 snowboarding, all that kind of stuff back in the day. Like I just yeah, man.
Kenny, go ahead.
And now we're getting shredders. At least Microsoft announced a new snowboarding game, so I'll take that.
Predators.
Come over here with your PlayStation love to judge our Xbox team.
It's an exclusive, man. It's an exclusive.
Yeah. Weren't you talking
That's
about
what
Xbox making exclusives is bad for the industry?
No, I don't think you listen to the words I say, Kenny. I think you just every time I say something, you just think I'm saying the opposite of what you're saying. When in
Josh.
reality,
we have the recording. I'm gonna sit back right when Lightman's doing the editing, and I'm gonna ask him, "Hey, listen, I went back on the last episode. I found where Josh was talking about his love for PlayStation and how bad Xbox making exclusives are for the industry. Can you throw that snippet in there to prove that I was right at this point right now?" And then it'll play.
is
for
that
a
all
couple
gonna
seconds.
sound suspiciously like you saying those words? Is that what it's gonna sound like?
Josh, we sound completely different, Josh. But I digress.
But it'll be like you doing like an impression of me. You'll throw in like a couple boopity boppies and just like call it a day.
Did you say a lot of boop with the boppies? Good to know.
Only half the time. He's only half the talent, y'all. Let's not forget about this, all right?
Yeah.
But is there anything outside of the smaller conferences that especially stood out to any of you guys?
I will say that just seeing the announcement of Tiny Tina's Adventures, was it? From Gearbox, Wonderland, yes. That actually I was like very intrigued about. I was like, oh, spinoff from Borderlands. I'm like, this is a huge IP for them, so I'm surprised that it took this long to do any spinoffs for it.
Yeah, I was actually just watching some gameplay details on YouTube before the show to look into some games that looked interesting, and I guess it takes place in between Borderlands 2 and 3, which I didn't know before watching this video. And there's going to be a create a character, which is a first for the series, and there are going to be spells just to go along with its sort of fantasy theme. So definitely excited
Is
for that one.
still going to be first person? Because I almost imagine they should just go third person at this point if they're going like full RPG, you know?
Yeah.
and not
Have
just
you played a
looter
Borderlands
shooter,
game
but-
before?
Yeah, I have. It's just all about first person. That's true.
Yeah.
No.
Get it together. Get it together, Josh.
No, if Josh is anything like Lightman, that third person perspective is everything to them. Yeah, but I actually didn't know they were going like full on fantasy themed with that game. Like I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, this is cute, I guess.
Means there's going to be a lot of purple and dragons.
Listen, the only reason to get that game is Andy Samberg's going to be on there, and I freaking love that guy. I think he's hilarious, personally.
He's gonna voice like a character in that?
Yeah.
Huh.
And Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wanda Sykes is
So
also
they're
going to be there. Yeah.
Does it ever worry you guys when they try and cast like people who aren't video game voice actors? Like, do you ever wonder if they're just trying to like get star names and stuff?
No.
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 Yeah, hold on.
You
No.
think video games are just mainstream now, so that's just kind of normal? That's like what we should expect going forward.
We've had actual big actors, voice characters, for a long time now,
Right, but I would say most of those were pretty much just to get like attention for the game, like Call of Duty and stuff like that, where they're like, oh, if we put somebody big in this, then people will buy it more because.
I actually don't even think so. What's the guy that voiced Spawn, right? He did a couple video games, and it wasn't like one of their main focal points for marketing. But he's a big time person,
But the
Very-
fact that you
very
had to call him
popular.
the guy that voiced Spawn kind of proves my point.
David.
But
Right?
I
Pete
yeah.
David is a
Pete David,
hall-
yeah.
famous voice that, he played the Arbiter back in Halo 2.
Exactly.
Several other video games. One that I recently played. Oh, he's in Mass
in Mass
Effect. It's like
Effect.
He's in Mass Effect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's wasn't Hackett?
Anderson.
Man, yeah.
I think he's Anderson. Is it
Anderson,
or Hackett?
Anderson.
One of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Anderson for sure.
yeah.
And Lightman also had a response to this as well. Lightman, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Anybody over Nolan North, honestly. I just don't want to hear that guy's voice anymore.
Anybody over Nolan North, I'm going to put that on a t-shirt and get blackballed immediately. No, but there's, like Kenny said and Wiley, there's been a couple of, I don't want to say big names that's been in games. Like Jack Black was a good get for Double Fine. The guy who was in Lord of the Rings played that other character in that other Double Fine game. I'm blanking on all these
I
names.
forget
Actually.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu,
Yeah.
Keanu
That's
Reeves
true,
in
that's
Cyberpunk.
true.
How did I forget about that?
And there's Kiefer Sutherland in Metal Gear Solid 5, which was a big downgrade.
I'm not trying to say that it doesn't happen. I'm just saying I always felt like when they made a big deal about like, oh, look, we got this big Hollywood actor to voice characters in a
Is it worth it?
video game, I always felt like it was a little bit like showy, like a little bit.
Like, is that where you
No.
wanted to spend the money on the game? Maybe you should have.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking. It's like there's plenty of really good quality voice actors that are famous for voicing video games. Not that they
Just
can't
so
move
you-
outside of that, but it's like
Just like you want Nolan North.
yeah, just Nolan North. I mean, he's my Deadpool, so I'll take it. That's fine.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention one game that it wasn't at one of the smaller conferences, but it was at the Xbox conference, I believe. But it stars Willem Dafoe, James McAvoy, and Daisy Ridley.
Oh
So
man, I've
three
been waiting
big-
to play
three
that
big
game
names.
for
Yeah,
a
that's 12
long time.
minutes.
bro.
And what's-
Dropped
what's the
on
game?
my birthday.
12 minutes or
It's
something
called
like that.
12 Minutes. It is a
12 minutes.
top-down.
Oh, they
Right.
completely redid that game. Like I remember it got announced like 2 years ago, and then they pretty much scrapped it and worked it from the beginning, right? And now it's got big voice
I think it's
actors.
still the same thing. It's just the voice actors they changed up.
Interesting.
Yeah, because Lightman and
It's
I
almost
watched
like
that
they thought it
trailer.
needed more attention.
Yeah, Lightman and I watched the trailer again. I was like, these are not the voices that they used at all for the initial trailer. But I think the game is, it's based completely on a narrative. So I guess they want to try to get some people who for sure might try to knock it out. But again, who's to say that these Hollywood guys are like, oh, these video games is really just a check for me and we're just going to phone it in.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage.
Like Ronda Rousey.
Nolan North came to the
Oh,
rescue
bro.
there.
Yo, Ronda Rousey was
true.
one of the
He
worst.
did.
Ronda
voice
Rousey
actors
in
I've
Mortal
ever heard,
Kombat.
bro.
Anybody?
Yo, she really
I didn't
ruined
know
that
that.
whole
I
game
didn't
for
know
me.
that.
man.
I'm just glad
And
she
that
wasn't
being
casted.
said, I'm not saying Hollywood actors don't do a good job voice acting. I'm just saying, like you said, a lot of them I think don't take video games seriously, but
No, yeah, for
they
sure.
are starting to take video games seriously now, and I think that's really cool. So
Wait
Hopefully,
a second,
man.
You just used an oxymoron.
Wait,
I
really?
said typically they don't take video games very seriously, but I feel like lately they're starting to take them more seriously.
I
Nice.
appreciate you for repeating yourself, Josh. I'm just fucking.
No
I'm just
problem. No
fucking with
problem.
you.
I said PlayStation rules, Xbox drools. Did you hear me that time?
Record that. Said it. I want that on loop.
All right.
You want that on? That should be the ending theme song.
Yep.
That's what that should be. So, okay. I don't want to spend too much time on the smaller conferences because, we got a lot of other stuff to talk about. So I'm going to go right in. This is Kenny Castro's bread and butter. Lightman has truly only one thing to say about this conference. But we got to talk about...
I don't want to hear what Lightman got to say. I already know what it is.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Kenny,
He said
you're
it
gonna hear it regardless,
right after the
bro.
conference was over.
Yeah, and you're going to hear it right now. That conference was terrible.
Oh my god! Please tell the public why it was terrible.
No, first of all, let's roll into it.
I want it off his chest. I want it off his chest early.
He's got a timer every 10 minutes as a reminder for what he wants to say. But we're gonna talk about Microsoft's E3 conference. I want to get you guys' thoughts and opinions about it. And you know what? We're going to let Wiley take lead on this conversation. What's going on, Wiley? What did you think?
I thought overall it was pretty solid. I think that it was pretty straightforward, which is what you'd expect in a remote digital only year. You didn't have much of Philly Spence or Don Matrick types talking in between the games, which I kind of miss. I kind of miss that show floor feeling a little bit. But if you're looking at the list of the games, it's a pretty solid list. Started off with Starfield. That looked dope. Wish we had got to see some gameplay. We got a release date, November 11th, 2022, literally 11 years to the day after Skyrim, which is pretty cool. I think Back 4 Blood coming to Game Pass day one's pretty neat. I think that that new game from the co-creator of Inside, Somerville, looked really dope, and that's coming to Game Pass. Did you guys check that one out?
Yeah, I thought that's looking pretty good.
Did you hear all the drama that came with that game? Because the two guys that made Inside disagreed on what to do next, so they both broke up and made separate studios, and now they're making conflicting games and stuff.
The other guy's making Winterville.
Yeah, is that it? Winterville?
No.
Wait.
My biggest concern, though, about the conference was that we didn't get any look at Halo Infinite campaign. I thought that was the biggest MIA for me as far as Xbox's conference. But overall, it's a solid B plus for me.
But we saw knockoff Cortana.
New Tana.
And they
What
did talk more about Halo in the extended showcase that would happen about 3 days after.
Yo,
Did they really? They showed.
I thought that was just multiplayer.
They talked a little bit more about just a lot of different games that they didn't spend too much time on during the E3 didn't see anything of Hellblade Senua's Saga, and during that extended showcase they actually gave that a little bit of time during that time frame. So I think they took the time, did what they could crunch into an hour and a half in the E3, and then they also right after E3 we're we had Paris Lily hosting the E3 extended showcase for Xbox 3 days later. So
which was cool, but we still saw no Fable and no Perfect Dark, right? I thought those were.
I think
maybe they're too early.
It's gonna be way too early, and I think that if you look at the time frame that they're trying to drop a game every month, or a one major release every month for the next couple years on Game Pass, it makes sense that they're gonna space out some of their heavy hitters and give them time to develop and get polished and things like that, not show off too much, because you start showing off too much about Fable that's 3 years down the line. You're taking away from anybody thinking about the ones that are in their face a year from now,
Yeah.
And what did you think of the conference, Kenny? What did you think of the conference, Kenny?
I definitely thought it was really good. I actually preferred how they went with it. It was you know what? We're just going to show you 27 to 30 games and do almost no filler. Just very minimal with the filler. It was here and there for like the big games. Forza Horizon got it. I think there was 2 other games that got some filler work, right? Of course, Starfield got the talk at the beginning, but it was just, let's show you games, and if there's release dates, we'll drop it. But let's put out there the fact that all these games were dropping. 27 out of the 30 games we're showing are gonna be Game Pass Day 1 games, and let's get it rocking, because what our whole thing is that bringing games to the gamers, and it's not just about playing it on Series X. And another thing that got missed a lot of people's eyes at first was that they did not at first see that, last year when they did the announcements, it was Xbox One and Series X, right? That's what it would say at the bottom. This time around, it's only said Series X and PC, because they're implementing the cloud function into the Xbox One to bring these games to the Xbox One. So now the games can just be solely focused to be produced for the Series X, and the cloud will make it playable on the Xbox One.
Yeah, which is something that I'm hoping they get down packed, because playing on my phone on that xCloud, bro, it's not the smoothest experience, and we have really fast internet over here.
Oh, I bet. It's also, it's not the best thing. It's not down packed. It does run a little better on like a laptop and a tablet than on a phone at times. It all depends. I've done it. I've been in the program since the beginning, since the beta. But the fact that they're trying, and this is something important to them, that they're like, they even announced that they're going as far as integrating into the smart TVs. The Game Pass into smart TVs, so that you can just connect your controller through Bluetooth to the TV and just play games if you got the subscription.
Are you telling me I can relive the days of like going and staying at a hotel and finding that little controller that's connected to the TV in the room and paying like $5 an hour to play crappy Super NES games?
Oh my god!
Hey, what I'm telling you is that yes, don't be surprised. That
Barely, but.
That is exactly what I'm saying. Is that don't be surprised if when you start traveling a couple years from now, your hotel TVs will be integrated with some kind of Game Pass on
You
it.
could totally see that actually, like the same way hotels like kind of are like showing off, like, oh, we have cable and you can watch Netflix or Hulu or whatever on these TVs. It's like now they're gonna be like, we got Game Pass. You can play whatever video game you want. You can log into your account. Like, that's actually kind of a cool idea.
I wouldn't
We're gonna
log
chop
into
Phil Spencer out
my
with
account in the
CEO
hotel.
of Holiday Inn.
You don't even need to log in, bro.
It's gaming for everybody, making it accessible for everyone, making their games readily, you don't need to buy the hardware to play it. So that they're thinking past the hardware. They're thinking of, how can we get these games into everybody's hands, no matter if it's on the PC, tablet, phone, Xbox Series S or X. And they're also showcasing, well, we don't expect you to spend $60 to $70 if you got Game Pass. It'll be day one.
Yeah. So, Josh, you being the resident Sony fan, I got to get some opinions from you. What did you think of the show?
I thought it was great. It was excellent. I mean, pretty much every game they showed, I was excited for. I think I just wished there was like more Fable, but I think Kenny's right that they've shown that card. They said that they were working on those types of games like that and Perfect Dark, but they're not in any rush to get it out right away because it's still got a lot of development. So they don't want to get people tired of it, because people complain every year when they show stuff that's still like 3 or 4 years out, and they're like, so I'm sure they were like, well, do we show Fable to remind people that we're still working on it, or are people just going to be like, oh, come on, that's probably like 2 or 3 years out. Why are you even showing us that? So I think Kenny's right. It's good that they showed only what they had in their hand at the time and what they'll be able to actually like put out this year. So I think it was great. I think they did a good job.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the larger point now is just getting those Game Pass subscriptions, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And people aren't going to subscribe for games that are coming out 4 years from now. All right.
True.
So I'm almost reluctant to ask.
No, reluctant. You got
reluctant
it was
to ask. Lightman, what he thinks of the conference, but I'm gonna ask him anyway. Lightman, please, unfiltered.
It was terrible.
Okay, you didn't have to cut me off.
Yes, I did. Because Kenny tried to cut me off. But now you can't anymore, bro. It was bad. They did announce State of Decay, which is the only thing I was looking forward to. But
You got a very specific set of expectations.
listen, they showed it off last year, okay? They showed it off the year before that too. Was waiting. I want to see anything, okay?
A
They showed
logo.
off Starfield, and that's also coming out next year. So would you tell me you can't do State of Decay next year either?
Yeah.
Outside of that, I actually really liked it. They announced a thumb drive for it.
Thumb drive for Game
Thumb drive
Pass.
For Game Pass, yeah. They announced Starfield being exclusive. Everybody was thinking about, is it gonna be exclusive? Yeah.
Yeah, Josh.
That's exactly what Kenny, it's like you don't hear what I'm saying. I was saying that Starfield would be exclusive, but I don't think there's any reason
Oh,
for
man.
like the next Skyrim or the next Fallout to be exclusive.
By the way, Josh,
I think
they
new
made
IPs
it clear
can be.
that those IPs will be exclusive for the foreseeable future.
what will?
Those Bethesda games, like
Like the new Skyrim, the new Elder Scrolls is only going to be on Xbox, is what you're saying?
yeah they
Yes, Josh, we went over
they
this
made it
already.
very clear when
I
they were
don't think
interviewing
that's
the
officially
CEO.
been announced yet, has it?
No, but what's his name?
The
guy who does-
groundwork has been laid.
What's the guy who
Yeah.
does Bethesda? What's
Todd
his name?
Howard.
They-
Todd
Yeah,
Howard?
Todd Howard's talking about how all future Bethesda games are going to be only on Xbox.
I mean, that's fine. I'm not saying they're not. I just don't really understand the strategy. But let's not go into that again.
Yeah.
Kenny's correct. Let's just move on.
I'm actually surprisingly on your side, Josh. But yes, let's not linger too much on this conversation. There's something I want to touch on.
Oh, hold up, I'm not done.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
That last game
Yeah,
by
don't
Arcane.
cut off, man.
That last game by
Redfall.
Arcane got me super hyped. What was the name
Yeah,
of it?
that's actually
Redfall.
my highlight too,
Yeah,
Lightman.
that was the best game they showed. Halo's good. I'm excited for Halo.
The vampire
Yeah, it's
Left
called
4 Dead.
Redfall, Josh.
Redfall.
looks pretty sick.
The best trailer though was The Outer Worlds 2.
Yo, I am
Trailer.
playing through that right now. I freaking am liking. I don't want to say I'm loving it. I'm liking the game. I think Obsidian, with the budget and all that, they're gonna be able to knock out the sequel. But you're right. That trailer was funny as hell.
Wiley, did you say really?
I didn't.
I was about to say, it's about to get tense here.
Nah, I'm about to say, nah,
No,
'cause
I thought the Outer Worlds 2 looked good. I mean, they didn't show gameplay, but it had the same tone and was, it was funny. And a couple others that I think we should mention before I don't know if we're close to done talking about the conference, but was Forza Horizon 5 looks amazing, and I'm super hoping that I have a Series X by the time it comes out, because as good as Cars games still look now, the fact that they can keep on looking better is exciting.
Yeah. Listen, we're,
Flight Simulator coming to Xbox on July 27th.
bro, I need to get an Xbox
That's
for
pretty
that.
awesome.
Like I played that
Yeah.
game on my PC and loved it. But I need to get an Xbox in order to get that. But I won't
Yeah,
until State of Decay 3 comes out.
oh my god. Yeah, but there's something I wanted to touch on. Well, a couple of things actually. And Wiley mentioned it. Am I the only one? I don't want to say concerned, but how are you guys feeling down on Halo Infinite?
No,
I mean, I'm excited. Looks pretty awesome.
I'm excited for it for sure, but I think if they were confident in the campaign being like going toe to toe with Sony's number one IPs as far as polish and what people are expecting from AAA, or I guess, top tier AAA games, that they would have shown it. So I'm thinking that it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to set the world on fire. And Halo 1 is possibly my favorite game of all time. So I'm very much hoping to be proven wrong.
And Kenny, what did you think?
I think that at the end, reading into not seeing too much of Halo, right, is in a way the wrong way to read into it. I think that we already know, everybody knows, everybody's expecting to see Halo. We all know Halo's coming in the holiday season, and I think that there was just too much to show, and to do Halo, you would have had to give Halo at least 10 to 15 minutes solo for itself. And I won't be surprised. Actually, I have seen some talk of that. This isn't the last thing they're doing. They have another show they're doing in August, and they're also doing, I think, one in October. So we have plenty of time to see Halo as we get closer to it. I don't think it's any concern. They know that they have to knock Halo out the park. I think they're more than anything is they need to get a good campaign out. But they need to put out a multiplayer that's going to be something that people will be playing for a couple years to come, right? Like they can't.
I think going free to play was a really, really good idea.
Super,
I'm surprised Battlefield
amazing.
didn't do that too.
And the fact that the way they're going about with the battle pass system on it is amazing.
I
Whereas
like the
in
battle pass, actually.
even if you don't pick up the first battle pass, then you're now 3 seasons in, you can still pick up the battle pass from prior seasons at any point in time and work on it. So that fact that you can pick up these battle passes at your own pace and work on them at your own pace is amazing, and making it, like I said, free to play. So not many people are really understanding the implications of that free to play, right? Microsoft just made it caught up to Sony, right? That was doing, Sony and Nintendo were doing the whole, you don't need the internet services to play free to play games, right? Microsoft just caught up, right? Like we gotta say how it is. They just finally did it, right? But now Halo is free to play, so that means people without actual Xbox Live or Game Pass can install Halo Infinite's multiplayer and play for free, right? With friends online, with no need for Xbox, for the $10 a month for Xbox Live Gold, or the $15 for Game Pass Ultimate. So that means this game is gonna be available to everyone that has an Xbox. Everyone, no matter Game Pass or not, Gold or not, you'll be able to play it. So I think that's one thing no one really thought of when it first got announced. Oh, free to play, perfect, yeah. But it's free to play. Everything that's free to play, you can play without these services.
Lightman?
So,
Oh, yo, Kenny, I gotta ask you something real quick, bro.
What's up?
How do you feel about... This is gonna sound like a weird, funny question, but how do you feel about Master Chief's age in the story?
His age in the story?
Yeah. Because the dude...
I really...
It's been, 6 games now? He's pushing, 70 at this point. 70, 80, bro.
He is. He's pushing the numbers up there. Like, it's one of those, you're pumping those numbers up, right? Those are rookie numbers. But we don't know how the super soldier program worked for the Spartans, right? We don't know if he ages at a extremely decreased rate than regular mere Marines, right?
That's fair.
So in our eyes, he's 80 years old, but in his body, he feels 45.
If Snake can get away with it, I think Master Chief will be fun.
At this point in time, I feel like
weird,
Hideo
man.
Kojima handled the aging for Master Chief, so it's fine.
He handled
Oh,
it.
man, damn. You guys just reminded me about the weirdest thing of E3 was that whole Kojima interview.
Yes.
Oh,
but,
yeah, that was
yeah.
the weirdest thing in the world.
Yeah, but before... Yeah, we got to talk about that, actually. But yeah, I'm just shocked that they didn't give us a solid release date for Halo. And I'm just... At this point, it's just like... They didn't confirm it. They said we're
I don't
aiming
think
for
they want to
holiday.
be locked in again.
Yeah,
So,
and I
see-
think that also they're working with...
Starfield the release date.
Right?
Yeah, but that's a whole year from now. That could also change. We've seen delays all the time. I think that at the end of the day, with it not locking it in, you have a couple games that still might release onto Game Pass. So you want to make sure you're giving every game a possible window to be played, enjoyed at least a little bit before dropping another major release on the shelf on them. And I think they're playing by ear to see what Sony got as well for the holiday season. I wouldn't be surprised if they're sitting back like, okay, we're gonna drop this. Let's see when we're dropping it, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what games we're dropping it around, because at the end of the day, we want to be,
The one.
we want to be the one. We want to be that main focus that week,
Which is...
right?
Nobody's gonna drop anything on March next year, though.
Which
No.
is...
That would be Breath of the Wild time.
If it drops, but we'll get to that. Yeah, but like Wiley said, they gave Starfield a release date. The only other things that I heard are just like they don't, like you said, they don't want to box themselves in. If they don't want to drop around like Call of Duty or when is Battlefield dropping again?
Battlefield's
It's
October.
October 12th, I think.
Yeah, so they, like, you're right. They want the conversation to be only about Halo. So I'm guessing that's the only reason they probably haven't given us a release date. But honestly, my standout game for that conference was Psychonauts 2. That game looks really, really cool. I'm about to start playing the first one. Horizon, like Wiley said, that looks incredible. And it's in Mexico. You already know, Kenny. It's my people right there. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's what's up. I like that location.
Yeah, and then I mean the piñatas were a little weird, but everything they showed about the game was really fun. And there was I'm more happy how they incorporated Bethesda, because I freaking hated the Bethesda conferences before, where they're just like, here's the numbers, here's the history, and it's just like, no, we're just talking straight games, Arcane Studios, Redfall, Starfield, which
Fallout 76 updates, which, by the way, guys, solid game. It's a solid game now. It was terrible when it came out.
I'd give it a shot once I got a Series X. Right now, just with the PS5, I'm only playing my Xbox One for like the indies on Game Pass, for the most part. But once I get a Series X, I'll definitely give that another go, because I love me some Fallout, and I have heard some pretty good things.
Nah, bro, they updated the hell out of that game. I'm playing on the Xbox One. Then, bro, it's running pretty smooth, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll give it a shot.
You should, bro. If you do, let me know. I'll hop on, man. I've been playing that a lot, actually, the last couple of days.
Good to know.
Definitely let us know. So, and then now I gotta ask you guys, because I feel like the narrative really changed after the conference. But Game Pass is here forever, right?
It's 100% here forever. Yeah.
I
If they were to cancel it, I think that would be a bad move.
I want to see when it raises price, because it's gonna raise price at some point, bro. There's no way they keep it.
You think he's gonna raise in price?
Yeah.
I think they're gonna announce, if they raise it in price, they better announce something along the lines of being able to get it per year. Because right now it's kind of ridiculous that you have to pay for it per month, and there's not like a year option like there was with Xbox Live.
Do they not have like 3 months stuff?
Yeah, they have 3 months. Josh is just being lazy.
Yeah, but it's $45.
Well, they don't have a yearly one, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Josh just wants a year at a discounted price. Just say what you mean.
I do, bro.
Yeah, I do. That's what every other subscription service does. Why wouldn't they do that?
Because this isn't just your regular subscription service, Josh.
Let them know.
Yes, it is. It is literally the Netflix of video games. It is 100% by definition your
So go
typical
Stop you there.
subscription.
Can you pay
So-
for Netflix by the year?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. Yes, you
Not
can.
not at a discount.
Yeah, you can.
No, you
At a
can't, Josh.
discount?
Show me, Josh.
Pretty sure you can. You can with Disney Plus too.
Now you're saying pretty sure. You're not confident anymore.
Well,
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Josh is my guest. Leave that man alone.
can't say anything on this podcast.
No, I censor you, Josh.
Josh, I'm gonna let you take lead on this question real quick. Are you personally excited for the future of the Xbox?
Yeah, I always have been. Always have been.
No,
I am. I've been
let him answer.
an
Let him answer.
Xbox fan since Xbox 360, and I have always believed in what Xbox does, because Sony's fine. I have nothing against them, but I've never really dug any of their games. Like I get that they put a lot of time and effort into like the single player stuff, but a lot of my gaming is multiplayer, and I think that's where Xbox succeeds, is in their multiplayer infrastructure, and I dig it.
Yeah. Which, again, I'm shocked that they didn't make to me, it didn't look like they made a big deal out of the fact that it's a free-to-play Halo multiplayer game.
Mm-hmm.
Which I would have been shouting that out of a rooftop, bro. I'd have been like, yo, this is free to everybody. Like Kenny said, you don't need anything, honestly. You just need Game Pass, xCloud, and an Xbox if you have it, or a PC if you have it. Like, that's all you
don't
need
even need
to
Game
play
Pass.
Halo.
You don't even need Game Pass.
Yeah, you don't need Game Pass at all for it.
Oh, my fault. Yeah. You don't even need Game Pass. Like, it's there if you want it, and why wouldn't you? It's Halo multiplayer. And I think from the vid docs that they showed. It's looking really awesome, bro. Also, yes,
I don't think they
Senua
would have gone that route if Halo had the clout that it used to. I think that it's a sign, not necessarily. I think it's a smart business move. I don't think it's going to end up being a bad financial decision for them. I think it's smart, but I do think that if Halo had, still was as popular as Call of Duty is, that they wouldn't be going that route. So anyway, that's just a little aside. Not really trying to make any big point.
Nah, you can't deny it. Halo's not as big as it used to be, man. I think the last big game was Reach. People still don't trust 343.
I don't. They're still fixing Master Chief Collection to this day.
Yeah, but it's dope that they're still supporting it.
You would hope so, honestly.
They're not gonna let that Halo franchise die. But which begs the question: if 343 doesn't knock it out of the park, what do you do? I mean, I doubt that the multiplayer isn't going to be successful. I think it's going to be a huge hit. But, when it comes to the campaign and all that and all the extra stuff, what do you do after that?
Bro, you move them out of that game, honestly.
And I guess you just look to the next big thing, You got Avowed coming from Obsidian. You got Starfield coming from Bethesda. You got whatever Rare's working on. I guess Everwild's got a big reboot, so we probably won't be seeing that for a while. I mean, there are other things. I don't think it has to live or die by Halo. I do think it would be a major thorn in their side if it comes out and it's like below a 85 on Metacritic, but I don't think it's kill the
if Microsoft is still making Gears of War titles, I think they'll continue making Halo titles.
You take that back,
despite,
Josh.
Well, I'm just saying, I love Gears of War, but
Judgment was terrible.
these new ones are nothing compared to the original trilogy, and they're still decently popular, and they're still putting out new ones every couple of years. So I don't know why. I mean, maybe there's more pressure on Halo to be something that it might not ever be able to be again. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think there's definitely more pressure on Halo. No hating on Gears. I thought Gears 5 was great.
Yeah.
It never had the
prestige,
Mario or Sonic level association with the console that Master Chief has.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, I just know that all of us hope to God that Halo is going to come out swinging and it's going to be great. And I hope that campaign is good and it rides the ship of the last two games because I wasn't a fan. And Lightman?
Yeah, real quick. That campaign's already going to be better because it's multiplayer.
Yeah.
They announced it was co-op, and I'm in there 100%, bro.
Warthog Bros.
They ride again.
Let's go, baby.
We got to finish the trilogy, Kenny.
Stop playing,
Kenny. We do. I was almost gonna blasphemous suggest skipping 2 so we could get Vic in there, but we gotta fight through and figure out how to beat 2 on Legendary.
I mean, we can't brute force it, bro. We're gonna do it.
Good luck, y'all.
Getting stuck with those snipers in the Earth level.
It's not even that, bro. It's just the way it's just set up. If Lightman dies,
one death, it resets to the checkpoint is rough.
Yeah, that is rough as hell. I forgot that they changed that.
Yeah, and we're also doing that on Legendary. Huh?
Legendary.
Yep.
And that's no bueno. That's no bueno.
Yeah, there's been moments where we were 1 kill away from clearing the checkpoint, and Lightman's like, "Don't die, I'm about to kill him," and I'm like, "I'm dead."
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. That's the first time I got I was about to get heated at Kenny, bro. Because we spent a good hour on I think the intro level.
Yeah.
And Kenny just kept repeatedly dying, bro.
I've never seen two people demoralized like these two guys.
My voice became deflated quick.
We was riding high of Halo 1, man.
But you guys beat Halo 1.
Yeah. The ending took us a little longer than we wanted to.
Yeah, that Warthog scene at the end was rough.
Yeah, it was. But fun game.
Looks like one of the best parts of the campaign. After the second half of the game is pretty much a lot weaker than the first, but the maw, that part with the Warthog at the end, that was so many games have tried to replicate that feeling of just the set piece I love it.
Yeah, and the only other game that matched it was Halo 3's ending, because Halo 3's ending was incredible.
Totally.
So before we move on from Microsoft's E3 conference, is there anything you guys want to say before?
About?
Anything?
No, not of Microsoft. No.
Wiley?
Hades coming to Game Pass is really cool.
Hey,
Yeah.
yo, I just bought it on the Switch too. That's an incredible game. I can't believe I slept on it for so long.
I can't believe you just got it, man. Yeah, that's a... And I think that people don't give Nintendo enough credit for having that essentially be a console exclusive for a year.
Right?
That's they could have been showcasing that as like a big deal beforehand, but instead that game just dropped out of nowhere and set the world on fire. But yeah, so glad more people are gonna get to play that. Kenny finally, I don't know how he slept on it.
I just knew it was gonna end up coming out soon for Xbox, and I just said, well, I want my achievements, so I'm not gonna play on anything else.
Oh, Kenny, you're a man after my own.
I might buy it on PlayStation just to get the trophies, just to have that experience again, and just something to shoot for.
One day we'll get along, Josh. One day.
I feel like we actually have very similar opinions and both love Xbox, and you always try to find something to win.
He didn't even like.
Kenny, which one of us has more achievement points?
I think you do. Do you? I'll check right now. I'll tell you in like 2 seconds.
No, I know we do. Don't worry. I already checked. I do.
Oh, you checked?
Well,
you flexing on me? Let's see by how much.
Well, okay. So clearly you guys are not going to get along today. So let's just move on to the next big thing, the next big conference, the one that dominated my social circle. And of course, that was Nintendo's E3 conference. And we can't start any other way than with the fact that they showed Breath of the Wild, or the Breath of the Wild sequel, is how they're calling it, because they said that the subtitle is probably going to give off a little more info than they want. And what did you guys think? That was the game of the show.
Who starts it off?
Lightman.
I think it was maybe the hypest trailer of the show. I don't know if it was the game of the show. I think you gotta have gameplay to get that title.
Okay, I mean they showed gameplay.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, I meant more like hands in press, like in the hands of press. But I guess we didn't really get that at all this year. So
okay, let me rephrase it to please Wiley, my esteemed guest. The most anticipated game coming out of E3 is probably Breath of the Wild, the sequel. Lightman, what did you think?
Oh, Zelda doesn't even make my top 3 announcements of Nintendo's this thing, honestly. Yeah, that doesn't make my top 3, bro. I was super excited for other announcements they did.
Okay, which we'll get to. But what did you guys think about the gameplay shown, the trailers, atmosphere, where we got Link gliding, we got Link flying through islands in the sky. Wiley, what did you think?
It's awesome, and I think that the whole fact that they started it with Link doing his best Fortnite fall was pretty cool. I love the idea of there being even more verticality to a game that already had an insane scale and scope. I still feel like the first time I played through Breath of the Wild, even though it isn't literally the biggest open world I've ever played, it felt like the biggest open world game I've ever played, just because of, I don't know, the art style or the sense of discovery, the fact that there's, not a whole bunch of crap on your map. You got to seek it out for yourself. That really was one of the key things that made it such a unique experience. So yeah, I think that you're absolutely right, Vic, as far as it's the most anticipated game in the overall industry right now. I just wish we had it would have been nice to get a date or a title, but I'll take what we got. At least we got to see it.
That's true. Lightman, you had something to say.
Yeah, real quick. Yo, Wiley, I have a problem with you saying the Fortnite fall, because that's from Skyward Sword, bro.
Oh my god.
Really?
It is, yeah.
Okay, well, I guess Fortnite copied Skyward Sword. My apologies.
Oh my gosh, I just realized that's why they didn't announce the subtitle of the new Zelda game, is because it's going to be Battle Royale.
Shut up, Josh.
Right,
Let's kick Josh, bro.
Sweet.
I'm done with the episode.
What would a Zelda Breath or a Battle Royale be called?
I don't
Hyrule
even-
Warriors.
Shut up, Josh. Yeah, but Kenny, did you watch the conference?
Actually, man, I was in the middle of Atlanta and I did not get a chance to. And then I went off to vacation in Miami or in Orlando with the family. So that's the only one out of all the conferences. I was so looking forward to it. And because I barely slept from all the flying into Atlanta, I literally was passed out during the conference.
That's fair enough, man. Listen, family time's important. More important than games, for sure.
But I did see Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Bro.
Which I am extremely excited for.
Yeah, and it surpassed my expectations so much that I stopped playing Nocturne. I deleted it from my Switch. I'm like, this is not gonna keep me happy at all. But what was your game of the show from Nintendo's conference, guys? Josh, you started off, man.
I think the most surprising thing was probably the Metroid Dread. I did not see that coming and was way more excited watching that than I thought I would be. Like, they were talking about Metroid Prime 4, and I was like, cool, I can't wait to see that. And then they just dropped this 2D, fully, like, 3D animated, like, Metroid game, and I was just like, it brought me back to Metroid Fusion, and I just, like, got stoked again and really want to play Metroid now.
Yes, I thought, and of course, Metroid Dread is what I told Lightman, probably one of the biggest pieces of fan service that Nintendo has ever done. Because for those of you who don't know, Dread has been rumored to be in existence since like 2007.
19 years.
19 years or something like that.
Yeah, even longer. Yeah.
You remember that, right?
I don't remember it, but I've looked it up and found out afterwards. If I can go, I definitely agree with Josh. Metroid Dread looks really good. It got me wanting to go back and play all the Metroid games that I haven't completed, which is most of them, to be honest.
Same.
And I love that they opened up calling it Metroid 5 because it's sort of in the lineage of Metroid 2, Metroid Fusion.
Mm-hmm.
Which one am I forgetting?
No,
It's the fifth game
Samus
in the 2D franchise.
Yeah,
because I think it's supposed to take place right after Metroid Fusion, right?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
Which is weird to think that game that came out on Game Boy Advance so long ago is the last Metroid game in the 2D series, like canonically.
which is
last
insane.
original. We have had, of course, Zero Mission and Samus Returns, which I just so happened to have picked up on the 3DS like 2 weeks ago when after I went to a local used video game store, and I was shocked at all these 3DS games being at full price or higher or like exorbitantly above MSRP. I was like, I gotta snatch these up before they're just too hard to find. So I picked up Majora's Mask, Samus Returns, and Pokemon Sun. And I haven't started Metroid Samus Returns, but I was super stoked knowing that, like, oh, perfect, I just picked this up, and this is, the same developer that's working on Dread, so it's got some mechanics that are carrying over, like the parry and things of that nature. So definitely think that Dread looks really good. The fact that it's out in October is exciting. I thought Nintendo had just a lot of nice surprises that actually are coming out in the near future.
Yeah, and of course, listen, I don't want to be. Go ahead.
No.
I don't enjoy being a contrarian, but we're now in an age where Metroidvanias are just throw a penny in any corner in the world, you're gonna land on a Metroidvania, and there's a lot of expectations set from like Hollow Knight, from even Shovel Knight stuff. Just like so many different games have set the standards. Do you think Metroid has to refine its place in the Metroidvania space? Wiley.
I think it's going to be. I think you're right. It does have a lot of big shoes to fill of other franchises that have really sort of taken it to the next level. Hollow Knight being one of them. Guacamelee being another.
Oh, Guacamelee is so good.
There's so many others that are on the tip of my tongue that I'm not thinking of right now.
Ori and the Blind Forest.
There we go. Ori and the Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps, which was one of the best games of last year, in my opinion. So is it going to is it going to be like a top tier Metroidvania? We only can hope. I think that what they showed looked really nice. I think it looks nice and fluid. Samus's movement seems like they've made it so she's more mobile and you can get around the environments quicker, which I think is a really satisfying way to traverse these areas because you're doing a lot of backtracking and everything. So I think the fact that it was announced and it's releasing so soon lowers, or it makes it so there's not so much hype surrounding it. I think it was smart that they did it that way. So the expectations are sort of tempered a little bit, you know. It's so as long as it's solid, doesn't diminish the Metroid name, and I don't think it's going to. I think it'll be just fine.
Yeah, well, it's like you guys said, there's so many games out there now, and I just hope they knock it out, because Metroid is a brand that doesn't. Man, it's such a weird. It's in such a weird place, the Metroid brand, where it's constantly straddling this. Either everyone's hyped about it because it's Prime, or this, like you said, like that 3DS game comes out and it just doesn't really sell too much, and it kind of just is a passing blimp on the radar, right?
Samus Return?
The one that they made on the 3DS, is that not Samus Returns?
Yeah, you're talking about the 2D one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Samus Returns. It sold pretty good, actually.
Did it?
Yeah, it's the reason why we're getting Dread.
Well,
I
okay.
don't know. I think that it came out when it came out. All I was hearing was, "Why isn't this on Switch?" Because everybody was stoked with their Switches, and they were like, "I want to throw my 3DS in the closet and not think about it anymore." And it didn't kind of get the hype that this game is going to get.
You're right. Well, listen, I hope they knock it out. But Lightman, what was you said 3.
Yeah.
What were your top 3 announcements from the show?
All right, number 3, my boy Kazuya in Smash, bro.
Dude.
So hype. I've seen a lot of like people's reactions to that announcement, and I hate that nobody knows who Kazuya is. You know, it took so long for people to realize, oh, that's Tekken, you know? And I hate that. All right, but that's my number
Really?
3.
He looks just like Jin.
Yeah.
How did people not connect the dots?
No. People thought it was either Heihachi or Jin, but like for some reason they did not think, oh, it's Kazuya.
His name is a little harder. It's not as catchy as like Jin or
Take that back.
Heihachi.
I mean, you're right.
It's not. It doesn't like stick to your tongue as well. Like
Arms
was he?
folded.
Let me ask you a question, because I played a lot of Tekken growing up, but never paid too much attention to the storyline. Was Kazuya was he the main character in the original Tekken games, and then they brought Jin in later, or was Jin always in it?
No. Kazuya was the main character for the first 3 games, for the first 2 games, and then Jin was introduced in part 3 as the main character.
Gotcha.
But the thing is, they dropped the ball with him, so now Kazuya is being the main character again, back to being the main character again.
Right.
And no, but the thing is, right, that bothered me is that that whole volcano scene. That's like, how do you not know that's existing?
I want to say it's iconic.
Huh?
I think it's iconic.
No, yeah, like anybody in the fighting game community would be like, yeah, that's who doesn't know Kazuya's ending to his stories.
Yeah.
And like, man, like,
Heihachi always kills him somehow. All right, what was number 2?
Number 2, we already talked about it, Metroid Dread. Can't beat Metroid Dread, bro. I mean, obviously, one game can't beat Metroid Dread. One announcement for me, and my favorite announcement, number 1, Advance Wars coming back.
Yo,
Dude.
yes.
Yeah.
Advance Wars was a shock to me, especially because, and I said it on the stream, Days of Ruin killed the franchise. Everyone hated it. It didn't sell well, and I thought Nintendo would never bring up Advance Wars again. But yo, the fact that they're Reboot Camp, Part 1 and 2,
I like the names too.
The art style is whatever, but the fact that they're bringing it back is so crazy to me, dude. And WayForward's working on it.
Sorry, just a side note. You know what's funny? Like the day before, I can't remember who it was, but they announced like a Metal Gear Slug game that was like in the style of Advance Wars.
Oh.
And when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, is this Advance Wars? Is it coming back?" And then I realized it was Metal Slug. Do you guys remember that game getting announced?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Metal
was
Slug
during the summer
Tactics.
game thing with Jeff
Right.
Kegley.
Right. And so I saw that, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Advance Wars!" And then it just ended up being Metal Slug, which is very cool too, but not what Metal Slug is. So the fact that they announced Advance Wars as Advance Wars and didn't try and spin it into some other type of genre, that was really exciting.
And like I said again, bring back Battalion Wars while you're at it, because Battalion Wars was fun as hell too.
You know, the name is not even like it should not even. It's not even Advance Wars. It's just the War series.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, because it was the Famicom Wars, then it
It
was
was
the
on
NES Wars.
Advanced, Game Boy Advanced.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just named after the consoles.
oh,
But for
interesting.
some reason, they decided to keep Advance Wars now.
Switch
It
Wars.
sounds great.
Switch
Advance
Wars.
Wars sounds awesome.
Yeah, Advanced Wars sounds dope.
And the reason why Battalions Wars was named that is because of such a change in genre.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, if we call it Advanced Wars, people are gonna expect a certain type of gameplay.
The Wii Wars.
Yeah.
That is
That was actually the running name for it.
the imagery doesn't spark much confidence for me.
We War.
The Wii Wars.
But Battalion Wars is amazing. They should also bring that back though.
Yeah, Wiley, what were some of the favorite moments from the Nintendo E3?
Well, a lot of stuff that we've already gone over for sure. I mean, there's a couple that I'll mention that we haven't yet. The Super Monkey Ball coming back.
Sick.
I'm a big fan of the first two games. They really bring back memories of playing with my sister way back in the 2001, 2002. All the mini games, the pool, and the ones where you got to land on the target. Never was good enough to get through all those expert levels. So now that I'm a grown man, maybe I'll have a better chance. We'll see.
Grown man, more coordinated. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And what's the other one? Geez, I just had an article with it up in front of me.
So WarioWare.
WarioWare, yes. Yeah, WarioWare. It's a series that I don't have that much experience with, but I have always enjoyed my time with it, like the DS ones and the Twisted one. But I don't think I've ever actually owned them. I think I just played them at friends' houses, but the fact that there's a new one and that it's multiplayer, that's exciting. And I think it's cool that they're sticking with that franchise, and because they're always well received and just a nice thing to get at least one on every console. And then there's Cruisin' Blast.
Yo, yes. Cruisin' Blast, dude. What did you think of that Pegasus?
I dug the Pegasus.
That's my car right there. I'm driving exclusively on that Pegasus, bro. That game looks incredible.
Yeah, that looked like a lot of fun. So as somebody that spent a lot of time playing Cruisin' USA back in the day, my friend's N64.
Cruising USA is such a classic, man.
It's a classic game.
Is this supposed to be like the same franchise technically?
No, yeah, it is. It is. It's a
Oh,
30 new
I
tracks.
didn't
and all
realize that when they showed it. Huh.
Cruisin' Blast, man.
Yeah, they should have called it like Cruisin' Universe, but whatever.
Yeah. I
Cruisin'
just thought it
Universe
was
sounds
some
dope.
random racing game, and it looked fun. I just didn't connect it with Cruising USA or Cruising California, like in the arcades I used to play all the time.
Cruisin' 2049.
Yo,
I don't think I ever played that
Those are
one.
exclusives, right?
Or are you pitching a name for a new one?
No, I think that was a thing.
Oh,
but
okay. Was it like
maybe
a
I'm-
futuristic?
Yeah, I believe
Cruising
so,
game?
unless I'm
Huh.
just talking completely out of my ass. But
yeah, but Cruisin' USA, I remember the little arcade setup they had at the laundromat downstairs, when I was growing up, and I used to spend a crazy amount of time at that laundromat just playing Cruisin' USA, and I thought that was
I actually got it mixed up with another game called San Francisco Rush 2049, which I think is a different franchise.
Which is confusing because there's a Cruising California arcade game, isn't there?
Same developer though.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
That makes sense.
Well, yeah, man. Listen, there's so much that came from Nintendo in 40 minutes that shocked me. Advance Wars, Kazuya, Emmy, and Metroid Dread looks really interesting. By the way, I don't think we spoke about her. But what do you think about that instant death feature that Emmy brings?
I like it.
I don't know, man.
As long as it's not throughout the whole game, you know.
I'm just not a fan of those. Like Resident Evil 2, Nemesis. Like I don't know. I just don't want to constantly worry about that, you know?
I mean, you don't always have to run away though. You can hide. They showed it in the gameplay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Get good, Vic.
Shut up, Kenny.
Nah, yeah, Treehouse event's awesome. People don't give it as much credit as it deserves. But the Treehouse is probably my favorite thing of E3. But yeah, they showed gameplay about it. They interviewed the guy who made the game.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can hide and all that.
Yeah, also Mario Rabbids
Yes.
goes into space. We get, what is it? Rabbid Rosalina. And that game, I don't know if you guys played the first one. That's a really good game. I think it's on sale right now, or maybe not actually, but it usually goes on sale for like $10. If you guys see it, I recommend it. It's a really fun game. XCOM, Nintendo, Mario shooting guns. Come on, bro. You can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, just last week it was on sale for $5 on Ubisoft's Ubisoft Forward website.
Damn, really? I didn't know Switch games got that low. They had Mario in them.
Yeah, actually, they were doing
'Cause it was-
unlimited special. So they would restock every couple hours. Like I don't know how you restock digital codes, but
They were building hype then.
Yeah.
yeah, they were really pushing it like for $5 the game.
Nah, yeah, that game does go on sale a lot for like $12.
Yeah. Especially on the eShop, for sure. So, one thing that obviously is a big elephant in the room for a lot of people is that the Switch Pro wasn't announced. There was a lot of smoke, bro. A lot of smoke, a lot of different reports saying that Nintendo was going to drop it or drop the news over the weekend or maybe during the conference. And now that it's a week after the conference, it's not coming out anytime soon, I guess. Were you guys shocked that they didn't strike while the iron was hot?
100%.
Nah, yeah, I expected it to be announced. It wasn't. Disappointed.
Shocked because of all the reporting that you had around it that was like, this is just a sure thing. It's right around the corner. Any day now we're going to be getting this Switch Pro. And it's even going to be 2 weeks before E3. That way the developers will have time to showcase their features and yada, yada.
Yeah.
So I was definitely surprised. And I think what it means is maybe it's still another year out.
Kind of makes you wonder if they're holding back any games for that too.
Bayonetta.
Like I'm sure Breath of the Wild will be like advanced for that console, but is there anything else that? Well, no, I guess it's not. They're not probably going to have any exclusives for that version, right?
Probably not.
No, it'll have that enhanced for Switch Pro tag. Like they did it for the 3DS.
Mhm.
Optimized for Series X, type of stuff. Yeah, but I was shocked they didn't announce it. I'm starting to believe the president of Nintendo that said, the Switch is it's on fire right now. Like, why would we disrupt something that's doing really well? So maybe, and I don't see that time coming anytime soon. Maybe when the Switch starts waning a little bit, then Nintendo's gonna be like, there it is. There's your Switch Pro. Kick it back up. Let's get the hype train rolling over again.
It's about to break the record of most consecutive first place in sales.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I think it's like 3 months away. There's no way it doesn't. It's crazy, man. But also, yeah, there was a lot of news and like from very reputable sources too. Jason
Bloomberg,
Schreier, Bloomberg, Business Insider. Everybody was saying it was going to be announced.
Yeah, maybe they were just planning on it being announced, and then all those leaks came out, and they're like, you know what? Nah.
They
Push it back.
You guys
they've done that
ruined it.
before
We're
too.
not releasing it anymore.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Cat, I would not
that
be
is a very
shocked either.
Nintendo thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't see Bayonetta though. That was damn.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
Platinum Games.
Bayonetta, is that game still even being worked on? Well, it's
Yeah,
been, what, 3 years?
Yeah, 4, 3.
3, I think.
Yeah, but
But,
it's been a while since they announced it.
They did like a little 5-minute interview about it in the treehouse. It was like, yeah, it's still a thing.
Yeah, it's still a thing, man. But Platinum Games is in such a weird place that I just hope they're still working on it.
I mean, they're working like 5 games right now. Though they've lost contracts on a couple of them.
Which begs the question. I don't know how big Platinum is as a developer, but how they juggle all these projects is beyond me.
Nah, you can tell they skim on some of them. I think my biggest question is why do they want to be a publisher?
Do they really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. And of course, listen, before we wrap up the show, guys, I got to ask you the all important question, and I'm going to let Lightman take lead on this one. What was your game of the show?
Damn. Oof. I don't think I can pick one.
When you start squinting, I know you're really thinking about it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Nah. I guess I'll go with Breath of the Wild. Super
Okay.
excited for it.
Safe pick. I like it. Josh, what was your game of the show?
Oh, that's tough. I mean, I think I was pretty excited about Metroid. I think that was probably where I'm at.
Yeah, see.
Really?
Metroid,
Game-
Advance Wars.
So I'm saying game of the show for everything. Microsoft, Nintendo.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Probably Halo. I just like I don't know, man. I think that's kind of the only thing that Microsoft put out that I was like, well, yeah, I'm definitely gonna play that day one. I don't think any other company put out anything that I'm gonna play like day one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'll definitely pick
because-
stuff up later, but
I know
Oh,
Halo's
because
not.
Sony wasn't there.
I know Microsoft definitely didn't put
yeah,
anything on play
because
day one.
well, I mean, we're not talking Sega, so if Sega was in this mix, then you know what I'd be playing.
Exactly. Before I ask somebody else, did you hear that they hope that the next Sonic game lays the groundwork for future Sonic games? Like Adventure did?
I was gonna say that's kind of weird, isn't that? How all video games
right.
should be for sequels. Interesting. Yeah, I mean that would be good if they could actually get some like mythology back into the game, like some story-driven stuff that carries over.
Josh, you still owe me an episode where we talk about Sonic only, but I'm going to move on, okay?
Hey. Tell me, man.
You got to do the karaoke too.
Karaoke. Wiley, what was the game of the show? A game of
Elden Ring
E3.
count.
Wait,
So
that?
does Elden Ring count?
Game of E3. I think it would count.
I mean, it was technically Summer of Games, and I know we didn't. We kind of didn't. Were really E3 focused, but Elden Ring was the trailer that is the only one that got me like, oh yes, finally get to get a look at this. And the fact that it came out with a January release date and looked pretty darn awesome. I think that's the one that got me most excited. As far as the one that was shown at E3 proper, like a couple of the other guys have said, there's nothing that really sticks out as the end all be all. A couple dark horses that I'll throw out that I think that we got a good look at as far as gameplay that I'm super excited to play later this year. Forza Horizon 5, Far Cry 6.
Far Cry 6.
I really hoping that that's going to be return to form.
Yeah.
Not,
Return to which one, though?
oh, I guess 3 is my favorite, and I'm not somebody that really disliked 5 or even the expansion or what was it called, New Dawn. They were both pretty good. So I shouldn't say return to form. I should say return to excellence.
Gotcha. Kenny, what about you?
So for me, actually, would be Redfall. It's a game that I wasn't expecting to be shown at the end of Microsoft's showcase, and I really got excited about it. And that's one that I will be following until it's released very heavily to see, how it's coming along, learn more about it, get myself deep into it so that on launch day I could just have it pre-installed and playing right away.
I'm gonna try and get into that beta.
Oh, yeah, they're having a beta, right? Listen, I wanna say, I don't want to give the game of the show to a game that only showed like a CG trailer, which no shots to Kenny. Redfall is gonna be awesome, but I also was planning on extending my arm out time wise and say Elden Ring was probably my game of the show, because you're right, Wiley. Elden Ring looked insane, bro. When that dragon captured that lightning, that thunderbolt, and then threw it at the player, I was like, this is it. This is the game. Nothing's gonna top this moment right here.
Yeah, and it happened right at the beginning, so it was like it's all downhill from here. But yeah, it was still good time.
Yeah, and of course the second one at E3 proper, Breath of the Wild sequel. That just the atmosphere looks good. It's more of what we want. They're adding Sky Islands now, which I'm a fan of because Lightman loves Skyward Sword, and I watched him play it. And it's just Legend of Zelda is just an incredible franchise, bro. Storied franchise. I wish they did a little more for the 35th anniversary, but whatever. Nintendo doesn't really do much for their games, right? They didn't do much for Samus.
I mean, Samus
A lot for Mario.
Samus shares her birthday with Zelda, so
Do they?
yeah, they came out the same year.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Yeah. Well, listen, is there any hot...
No, hold up, yo. Before you do the whole sign out thing, yo, Kenny,
What's up?
yo, because it's been bothering me. But what did you think of that Kojima interview, bro?
I was so thrown off about it. Like, I kind of pushed back to watch it again just to see what did I just witness. Like, I found it so almost like pointless. Like, I don't even think Kojima even knew why he was doing an interview.
Yeah, it was. Did anybody else see that interview though?
No, Wiley?
Yeah,
Josh?
it was a little weird.
Bro, first of all, that thing, the interview started really weird because he was like, "How is it?" He's like, "Yo, bro, we're having an outbreak over here of COVID."
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Keely was just like, "Yeah, have a good one, bro." I think that was like the first minute, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be an interview right there."
Yeah, good luck with that, right, Josh? Yeah, and then he started mentioning 9/11 for some reason. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, what the hell are you talking about?
When he mentioned the 9/11, I was like,
All right.
I was like, please, I get it. English not his primary language, but damn, like, I don't like, it was pre-recorded, so like, why did Joff think after watching the interview think that that's still included, right?
Bro, yeah, like he was talking about how he wants his games to affect people. 9/11. I was like, what?
I was like that.
Yeah, I was like, what? Like, why are you talking like you're looking at your games differently like you would have after 9/11. Like, what are you talking about right now?
Yo,
I don't think anybody knows what Kojima's talking about, man.
Yeah, and of course everyone on the internet is like, that's gotta mean something. Which, of course, listen, I don't want to rag the guy too much because, like Kenny said, it's not his first language, and I don't want to be that dude, right? But it's.
I don't think there's a translation error in saying 9/11.
I was gonna say, I don't think. Yeah, you're right. There's he knows what he was talking about in terms of 9/11. I just wish he would not have mentioned it.
Not to cut you off, Vic, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it was a translation error there. I think he just didn't adequately know how to express himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
And then he fell onto that real quickly. And then everything just kind of like, it almost felt like watching somebody implode in an interview.
Oh my god, bro! It was.
And I don't think they even realized they were imploding.
No,
Yeah.
See, I'm seeing this completely different, bro. Because this is the same guy who built a museum for himself.
Oh my god! Yeah, I forgot about that.
So to me, everything he did was just like, Jesus, bro.
It's on brand for him somehow. Somehow it's on brand for him. Also, Death Stranding. Did any of you guys play that?
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
Wiley did. He loved it.
I don't play Sony games.
Josh, stop
Josh,
lying
this is
to
why I
the
love you,
public.
I can't say anything positive about Sony games. Continue.
Yeah,
Yo.
I thought it was it was my number 3 game of 2019, I believe, and I thought it was really. It was overlong, had a lot of extremely confusing story beats, but overall, I thought it was quite the experience.
The story to that game is stupid.
It's so insane.
Yeah.
I think Kojima just needs to start making movies. I think that's what he really wants to do.
No, that
For sure, he wants to do that.
he started out trying to do that, but he couldn't cut it. So he went to the video games.
He's he's a strange guy, man.
The thing that I hated about Death Stranding was the director cut thing.
Yeah,
They're making a director's cut.
and like Lightman says, that's his studio. Why was the original game not the director's cut? Who was
isn't
there?
that just what they call? Isn't he just choosing to call it that instead of like a remaster?
No,
He's just
kinda
choosing
like-
to call that instead of like a Game of the Year edition or something like that.
No, because
Yeah.
it's like extra content and stuff.
yeah, he said it was adding some extra stuff, but like, well, bro, who told you to cut it? You run the whole. studio.
You know what it is, right? He saw the Snyder cut,
Snyder
and he's
cut.
like, so Snyder gets to have a cut, but I don't. But Kojima, you did the game you wanted because you run the studio. No. We want the director's cut.
This is the director's cut.
And like, I'm pretty sure the stakeholders in the Sony world is like, you can't call it the Kojima cut. So,
Which I'm sure is what he wanted to go with originally.
Yeah, remember the original trailer for Death Stranding was produced by Kojima, written by Kojima, edited by Kojima,
And it was an
All the
incredible
trailers are
trailer.
like that.
Holy crap! I think that's one of the few times. The last time before that was No Man's Sky, where a trailer I was like, "Holy crap, this is gonna be it." The first trailer for Death Stranding was something special for me. It was a spiritual experience. It's almost like it was a life-changing event, something akin to 9/11.
No, I remember before that trailer went live, I was talking to my buddy. I forgot who it was. I was like, "Yo, take a shot for every time you see Kojima's name." It was over.
Jeff Keighley. Yeah. Well, guys, I think that's gonna be it, man. There's so much more I can talk about, but I know you guys have lives, some of us have lives, and I know you guys want to get back to it. All right, but is there any final thoughts about the shows? Is there anything you guys want to get off your chest, whether it's a love confession to me and how awesome I am? Is there anything in particular you guys want to talk about before we head out?
Microsoft E3 sucks.
Okay.
I swear to God, if I didn't have so much respect for Lightman, we'd fight.
But Kenny understands where I'm coming from, though. See?
I don't think he does actually.
I understand them, but I just don't want to hear it.
See, but you understand me. That's the most important part, Kenny.
I know it hurts to understand you though.
Wiley, what about you?
No, I just enjoyed being on the show. I think it was overall a good E3 considering the pandemic and all the adjustments the studios had to make. And yeah, we'll see how the coming years go. But I think gaming's in a good place, and there's definitely no shortage of things to play.
All right, one last thing, right? Microsoft had the third best conference. 2 was Devolver Digital.
Devolver. Yeah. I thought it was hilarious. I loved it. Also, Battlefield 2042 looks incredible. I forgot to completely touch on that game. I think that game is going to be crazy, dude.
It does look really good.
Yeah. I went back and downloaded Battlefield 4. That's the hype that got me. Because Battlefield 5 I wasn't a fan of.
I'm going to get the game just to jump into the tornado.
Yo, bro, that's going to be sick. I cannot explain to you how hyped I am to have that moment for the first time. It's going to be incredible.
That actually might have been like the best trailer of the conference or of the. I think that one just dropped like a couple days before E3, or maybe it was right as it started. But yeah, we sort of skipped over Battlefield. It's looking pretty sick.
Yeah.
It was a couple of days before E3 started.
But either way, the trailer when they copied that beam or whatever, that famous moment where the guy jumped off the airplane, freaking rocket launched the helicopter and just went back in. I was like, bro, this is it. This is what they needed. Kick the goddamn franchise back in the ass.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, why does this look familiar? And then I saw my Twitter feed and I was like, oh, that's why. That's so funny, man.
Yeah, and Josh, what about you? Any final thoughts?
No, I don't think so, man. I'm excited about Shredders, and I'm just waiting for more Sonic news, man. That's all I got.
Hey, you and me both, buddy.
You got Minecraft.
Yes,
That's
yes.
true. That Minecraft
Yes.
Sonic announcement was pretty dope. I'm gonna have to go download that. It was like $8 or something.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and it's not just like, oh, you get Sonic skins for everything. It's like, no, they're
the overworld.
legitimately pretty much built like a whole Sonic game in
Oh, it's so sick.
Minecraft.
So sick.
It looks really cool.
And lastly, really before I sign off, Kenny, did you hear that announcement of the Xbox televisions?
Yes, I did. Designed for Xbox will now be including displays on their websites very soon. Then, just for those that are wondering, price ranges, the lowest price range will be $987. Highest will be about $1,500.
Damn, you just reminded me about Microsoft's best announcement at E3.
Here we go.
The fridge.
Nice.
Oh yeah, dude. I need one of those mini fridges from my man cave.
I gotta get one of them, bro.
And talking about all of these things, I definitely recommend for anybody that has not checked it out. You could just Google real quick, designed for Xbox, and Microsoft has a dedicated website of peripherals that are designed to work on the Xbox and increase your experience. From all the way from headsets, controllers, adaptive controllers, all the likes of it, everything in between.
Yeah, the Xbox Lab, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I love Kenny's on-brandness, bro.
Yeah, he's the Xbox ambassador.
Right. And he lives up to that title.
Absolutely.
Kenny, I love you, bro. Don't change, man.
I will not.
Since we're
Josh and
saying...
Sony can kick it rocks.
Kick rocks, Josh.
I think the reason it offends me so much is because I'm such a huge Microsoft fan, and the fact that you try and make me out to be a Sony fan makes me so sad.
Which is funny
I
because
gotta play the character, I guess. You know?
Which is funny because the Sony fan, and he hasn't hit it, is Wiley.
Yeah. Also, the thing is, there was I don't know if a picture leaked online with Josh and the PlayStation logo behind him.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I saw that. There's no hiding from that, Josh.
Explain yourself.
I will not.
All right, but I do want to end on my final thoughts of the show. That if anything, I'm hoping people can check us out during this Knockout City tournament live on the Studio 149. If we can get this hashed out with all of us online, we will talk about that offline. But hopefully, this materializes into something.
I still gotta finish the drawing for it. I finally finished with the commissions I was working on.
Yeah,
so I finally got time to do it.
Hell yeah! Well, listen, guys, the runny eggs will run wild on people. We're gonna be yoking them in the face, which again does not inspire confident imagery. But I digress. I think that's gonna be it, man. I think that's gonna be it. Unless Wiley, you're probably on a fourth cup of wine. You got anything crazy to say?
N-word, drop it.
Honestly, no. You already asked me. I'm done.
He's like, I thought he was already walking away with it.
Right, he's like, yeah, right. He's like on his phone.
Right.
Kenny.
What?
Get off your phone, bro. Come on. Jesus Christ, bro. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it from us here at Studio 149. We were joined by esteemed guest, Wiley. I hope this is not the last time we see you on the channel, bro.
Me neither. It's a good time.
Absolutely. And that's going to be it again from us here at Studio 149, from our little studio in the Bronx to you guys. You already know, the Broadway Vic, Kenny Castro, Wiley Homestead, Josh LiquidMercuri, and the Broadway Vic.
You mentioned his name twice.
I know. I did that on purpose. But of course, that's because it's a callback to what I did earlier. And of course, guys, the one, the only, Mr. Lightman. Do the sign off, bro. You have the honors today.
I don't know how to do. You ain't even mentioned the song.
Oh yeah. You're right. Check out Young Lion Sosa's Microdosing. It's on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, anywhere you can stream music, you'll find it. It's an incredible song. We're gonna ride out to that. And until then, until the next episode, we'll see you. We love you. Bye.
Later.
Peace.
Yo, why does Josh never say bye?
Josh never says bye.
Bye.
He doesn't believe in goodbyes, only hellos.
Oh, that's love.
So true.
That's love. Cut it off.
I know.
Competition, I'm in my own league. Schooling you niggas like fish in the ocean. Fuck is you thinking? I got my whole team. Everybody in motion.